I found out from TMZ literally 2 hours ago that I have been subpoenaed. I'm not crying, you're crying. You were a bad person. Truly, that was that from the bottom of my heart. I think you and Ryan are bad people. There is nobody involved. Nobody has ever been involved in making me come to that conclusion.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds thought they could use the courts to fight Candace Owens and save their reputation, but it totally backfired on them.
So they went with this headline. It says that Perez Hilton and me were subpoenaed, and then the ... working with Baldoni.
Candace showed everyone that their whole thing was fake. She proved that Blake told TMZ about the court papers before they were even given to Candace. It turns out Candace barely talked about Blake in 5 years, and now all their lies are coming out.
So it's a fishing expedition because she wants to know now who's talking trash about her. Wake up, sweetheart. It's everyone. Everyone dislikes you.
You know Blake, right? She's the woman who acts like she's America's perfect sweetheart and is married to Ryan Reynolds, who everyone thinks is really funny on the internet. Don't worry. We'll talk about his not-so-funny stuff in a minute. So, Blake thought she could go to court, use big fancy legal words, act like a victim, and magically make people believe she's being picked on by some huge group of internet bullies and YouTubers, but thankfully, the universe had different plans.
Having him tell me, okay, my lawyer, oh, you're not involved in this lawsuit. Haha, joke's on you, Noah. Joke's on you, because now you've got to read by subpoena and figure out what happens next. I mean, this is crazy times, you guys. It's like we're living in a simulation.
Then comes Candace Owens. Probably the last person Blake wanted to get mixed up in this crazy mess, because Candace doesn't play by Hollywood's fake rules. The moment Blake's lawyers tried to act tough, Candace showed up with proof that was so embarrassing it could beat Ryan Reynolds' last 5 Deadpool commercials in the cringe contest.
That Perez Hilton, Candace Owens, and Andy Senior have all been subpoenaed to turn over any and all communications with Justin Baldoni and Wayfarer parties.
Let's break it down, because the way Blake's story about people working together to ruin her fell apart is really funny. First, Blake has been going around saying that people like Justin Baldoni and Wayfarer Studios have teamed up to destroy her image. Yeah, sure, Blake, because your image was perfect before this mess, right? Never mind that your awkward robot-like interviews and diva attitude were already becoming the internet's favorite thing to make fun of.
That we are not going to allow her to have access to every text message and email pertaining to her and Ryan Reynolds and Wayfarer Studios because she watched me live say, now that I'm interested in this story, which my interest began on January 25th.
Apparently, this whole thing started because Blake thinks some dark internet group is plotting against her, according to her lawsuit, Justin Baldoni. The same Baldoni, who has a $400 million lawsuit against her, is apparently working with every content creator, journalist, and random person with internet to destroy Blake's career. And because Blake doesn't know how to take responsibility for anything, instead of accepting that her public failures are her own fault, she blames the entire internet.
The judge's order earlier this month allowing Blake to take discovery in order to uncover the alleged length, if any, that Baldoni's side may have gone to in working with notable anti-Blake content creators as part of the alleged smear campaign.
But it doesn't stop there. Blake's dragging people left and right into this crazy idea. She hired Melissa Nathan and Jennifer Al for crisis PR help, which already screams that she's desperate. And just to make things even more ridiculous, she's bringing in some poor Reddit guy from Texas named Jared. Because obviously every time a celebrity becomes unpopular, it must be because of some internet stranger with a Reddit account, right? And here's where it gets really funny. Blake's paranoia has gotten so crazy, she's demanding emails, texts, and documents about herself, including conversations about her hair products. Yes, her actual hair products. Imagine being so obsessed with what people think about you that you think random mentions of your shampoo are part of a plan to ruin you. It's totally delusional. It's like a celebrity breakdown. It's like saying, I married Ryan Reynolds, so I clearly love making bad choices.
Obviously, she knows for a fact that we are not going to allow her to have access to every text message and email pertaining to her and Ryan Reynolds and Wayfarer Studios because she watched me live.
Speaking of bad decisions, Ryan Reynolds being involved in this is peak comedy. Here's a guy who's made his whole brand out of pretending to be the internet's funny relatable husband while secretly working with TMZ to clean up Blake's courtroom. Disaster. The man tweets jokes about aviation gin and Deadpool, but behind the scenes, his PR team is calling media outlets faster than he can sell another overpriced phone plan. Honestly, watching Ryan try to spin this situation is more painful than his last romantic comedy flop. Back to Candace Owens, though, because she's the real star of this mess. Candace showed how she found out about Blake's sneaky court papers, and surprise, it wasn't from some official legal process. It was TMZ, of course. The celebrity gossip machine that pretends to be real news, but works more like a reality TV producer who drinks too much coffee.
Hilton, Owens, and Senior have all used their sizable digital platforms to discuss case developments, and the trio's commentary has largely hated on Blake's claims while propping up Baldoni's side.
At exactly to 11 p.m. Eastern Time, TMZ mails Candace's PR team asking for a comment on court papers she hadn't even gotten yet. Imagine that! Finding out you're supposedly part of a legal case not from the courts, but from the same outlet. That covers Kardashian baby names like it's breaking news.
Reaching out to see if Ms. Owens has any comment on being subpoenaed in the Lively Baldoni case. Thank you for your time.
Candace's team naturally fought back within 10 minutes, showing the setup for what it was, a pre-planned PR stunt by Blake's team. Probably planned between sips of green juice and nervous text messages with Ryan.
Mitchell wrote back within 10 minutes and wrote to him, "Hi Ryan, thank you. Can you send a copy of the subpoena to us? Candace has not been served. We cannot comment if we have not seen what she will be served."
But the real funny part, 6 minutes later, just 6, TMZ publishes their hit piece, complete with dramatic framing, false accusations, and Candace's face plastered everywhere as if she's leading some anti-Blake Lively revolution. Because sure, that's how real journalism works. They definitely wrote, edited, fact-checked, and published a whole article in 6 minutes. Totally believable, right?
Candace has not been served. We cannot comment if we have not seen what she will be served. Obviously, somebody gave this, and by somebody, I mean, clearly this is a Leslie Sloan, Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds PR strategy. I've been telling you for a long time.
Candace called it exactly what it is: fake, staged, and sloppy, just like Blake's lawsuit. TMZ's little performance here is proof that Hollywood's rich and famous will use any tool they can to control stories, even if it means turning celebrity gossip blogs into legal mouthpieces. And who's sitting right in the middle of that? Ryan Reynolds, the human version of stale Twitter jokes and overhyped gin commercials, pulling the strings while pretending to be clueless.
And we're kind of sickened by the way that you bullied Justin Baldoni. We read it and we feel passionate about this case, and we're teaming up in the way that every parent and mother and woman and child that's been following this just wants to see justice brought to Justin Baldoni.
What makes this even better is how badly the smear campaign theory falls apart under basic logic. Blake claims the internet turned against her in some grand conspiracy, but let's be honest, the internet's been making fun of her and Ryan for months, purely because their curated picture-perfect image is faker than Ryan's skincare routine ads. No elaborate plot needed. Just good old-fashioned public opinion catching up with entitled celebrities. The desperation is showing on every level. Blake's PR team leaks court papers to TMZ before they're even delivered. They scramble to push a false story through headlines faster than Ryan can cash another Netflix check. And through it all, Candace Owens exposes every sloppy, staged, insecure move they make.
So first and foremost, right off the bat, you should know what they're saying is stupid. They're putting in this piece, Popcorn's Planet and Candace have been covering this lawsuit, and they have not been favorable to Blake Lively. Okay, so?
Hollywood loves to pretend it's untouchable, but Blake and Ryan's empire is cracking. Between paranoid lawsuits about hair products, staged media leaks, and Ryan Reynolds clinging to his Deadpool character like it's the last lifeline of his personality, the whole thing is falling apart beautifully. And honestly, watching Candace take the wrecking ball to their little castle of staged perfection is exactly the chaos we deserve right now. Blake Lively's fairy tale just keeps falling apart. And it's honestly more satisfying than watching Ryan Reynolds flop through another midlife crisis Deadpool commercial. Because when Candace Owens decided to show her own court papers live, Blake's little smear campaign fantasy exploded on the spot, and the receipts were devastating.
Now, I've received my subpoena from Blake Lively today. I'll tell you what is in it, because in my opinion, she's kind of admitting that she cannot prove that there was a smear campaign.
First of all, Candace Owens literally showed her own messages in front of millions of people. That's how confident she is that Blake's conspiracy theory is straight up garbage. The only mention Candace ever made about Blake before all this legal circus, a message from way back in 2019 with a heart eyes emoji over Blake's engagement ring. Yes, a heart eyes emoji. That's the entire evidence Blake's holding onto. Like it's some criminal smoking gun. Imagine being so obsessed with your own fame that you twist a compliment from 5 years ago into proof of a smear campaign.
They're hiding something. Something must be hidden because they still believe that the public is still stupid to comprehend what's happening here. This is effectively a PR strategy. Of course, we are going to say, we're not giving up all the people that gave us information. She knows that I have a source.
And here's the thing. Between 2019 and August 2024, Candace literally never mentioned Blake. Zero. Nothing. Nada. So unless Candace was conspiring in total silence, Blake's idea of a years-long plot is as fake as Ryan Reynolds pretending he's relatable on Twitter. When Candace finally did mention Blake, it wasn't some shady orchestrated hit piece. It was a single 5-minute news segment in August 2024 about Blake acting like a condescending nightmare toward journalist Kirsten Flaw. And guess what? That wasn't some deep state smear campaign. It was Blake's own viral interview making her look bad. When you treat reporters like garbage on camera, no one needs to sabotage you. You're your own worst enemy.
So what are you trying to prove here? If there's a smear campaign happening against you now? Yeah, we all read your words. We read your messages, we read your Khaleesi Dragons, and we're kind of sickened by the way that you bullied Justin Baldoni.
Blake Lively's entire legal strategy is falling apart faster than Ryan Reynolds' last PR stunt. And it's honestly wild to watch. Blake's legal team is demanding emails, messages, and anonymous tips. From May 1st, 2024 onward. Yes, even after the supposed smear campaign she claims destroyed her. How does that make sense? You can't cry victim over a conspiracy and then demand evidence from a timeline where your brand had already supposedly exploded. But then again, reality has never been Blake and Ryan's strong suit. Blake is now demanding access to over 10,000 emails, including private tips from everyday people exposing Hollywood hypocrisy. A direct attack on journalist source protection. But guess what? Candace isn't backing down. She's willing to comply only with requests before Blake's lawsuit was filed, refusing to hand over a single source or tip from the avalanche of people who finally saw through Blake's fake fairy tale. Meanwhile, Ryan, Hollywood's favorite funny dad, is hiding behind his Gen ads while TMZ acts like Blake's personal PR megaphone, churning out fan fiction level exposes that read like a meltdown in real time. The desperation is laughable. Court papers over hair products and Reddit threads. Really? Even more embarrassing is that they dragged innocent creators like Any Signore into this circus without a shred of evidence. Blake's polished Instagram look and picture perfect power couple image are shattering, and Ryan's silence is as loud as ever. Their empire isn't being toppled by some mythical conspiracy. It's collapsing under the weight of their own arrogance and lies. The truth is simple. This isn't about justice. It's about controlling the narrative and silencing anyone who dares question them. The receipts are out, and every move Blake makes only digs the hole deeper. Instead of stopping criticism, she's become the ultimate cautionary tale of a Hollywood fantasy unraveling in real time. And Ryan, he's vanished, proving that his so-called relatable dad brand was as fake as Blake's carefully curated interviews. If you're tired of these Hollywood elites thinking they can bully the world into silence, join the movement. Subscribe right now, hit that like button, and share this video so the truth keeps spreading. Because the meltdown is only getting messier, and you won't want to miss a second of it.